What will happen next for Bitcoin and Ethereum on the weekly line? If you are interested in this question, please follow me. From the weekly line, we can find an indicator that I think is very important, the hash ribbon. The buy signal flashes. You can see that we have a green dot below. After that, a blue dot appears at the back. The blue dot is in the hash ribbon. It can represent the buy signal. The hash ribbon indicator is very special. It is not calculated based on price opening, high and low closing. It is calculated based on computing power. That is, the change in hash value. We have talked about how hash is calculated in detail before. In fact, what is the blue line? What is displayed is the hash. This gray line is the average of the hash value over a period of time. When we generate a red segment, it can indicate that our current computing power has been lower than for a period of time. If it is average, it can mean that some miners have shut down. That is, the mining machines have surrendered. So why did these miners shut down? It must be because the miners can't make any money. Or it is because the depreciation and electricity bills of the mining machines they turned on are insufficient in order to support the selling price of the coin he mined. If he chooses to shut down the machine at this time, miners will surrender. We can see that when a green dot appears, he can indicate that he has entered the recovery period. That is, the computing power has begun to rise relatively steadily. When we have a green and blue dot, it can indicate that the price of Bitcoin at this time is also turning upward. In fact, it must meet the signal of hash ribbon buy. As we said above, we can review the market a little. In fact, when the buy signal appeared several times in the past, if we bought Bitcoin spot, it would be a very good opportunity. For example, at this position, this place there is no way to confirm it yet. But you can see that we perfectly caught the lowest point of our wave of Bitcoin at this position. Basically, there is no difference between buying at this place and buying at the lowest point. Also, what we have done before at this place. That is, after the consolidation of the box after 519, the buy signal appeared. At this position, we can use lines to mark these places if it is bought. In fact, from the perspective of review, when we come back and look at it, we can find that this indicator is very forward-looking. There is also this place. In fact, we can review our hash ribbons by signals a little bit. Most of them are in the bear market of Bitcoin. In fact, the price of Bitcoin in the bear market fluctuates most of the time. Whether it is a fluctuating rise or a fluctuating fall, it will not rise violently. If we are going to this kind of violent rise, if the price rises, it is actually impossible for the miners to surrender and shut down, because the price of Bitcoin is still rising, like we did in the previous period. This situation almost never happened. And then there was this period of increase and this period. When it goes up, when we go down or fluctuate after the decline. For example, when we are here, a buy signal appears. Then, when we are at the bottom of the bear market. And when we were in the previous bear market. For example, this place there are also this place. We can find that the buy signal will appear basically during the bear market. During the bear market, the buy signal will appear very frequently. But it does not mean that it will appear after it appears. It can't fall. It's just that we look at it from the weekly chart. If you think we will have a halving in 2024 and then match it with the current hash ribbon buy signal. In fact, it is absolutely no problem for us to build spot positions in batches. Of course, our goal is to get it. The peak of Bitcoin after 2025 is definitely not based on its short-term interests. Because from a short-term perspective, hash ribbon has almost no effect. It must be viewed over a longer period of time. Of course, from a short-term perspective, we the channel has always believed that Bitcoin currently faces considerable risks. And there will definitely be demand for a correction in the future. However, in fact, if we lay out the spot, I think this short-term decline can be ignored if you are determined. From a perspective where you want to go from a bear market to a bull market, I think this decline does not have a big impact. But the premise is that you have to think that we will have a halving market next. But I think it is actually still anyone who stays in the market must think that there is still a halving market. Otherwise you would not be in this market. If there is no halving market, and the market is so difficult to do now, then in fact, you can do other markets, so we have a buy signal. In fact, you can consider finding a good place to buy spot. It is the same as when we were here. Maybe it is better to wait for it to finish falling or to fix the position. Then let's take a look at Ethereum. As for Ethereum, I looked at the weekly chart of our Ethereum and discovered a very surprising fact. You can find that we were in the last round of bull market. After the bull market rose, it ushered in a bear market. We were in a trend line appears at this position. You can find that there are 3 contact points at this place, 1, 2 and 3. It is definitely effective. After we break through, we will start a very long bear market. After we pass the lowest point, we will slow down again. Slowly rising. Of course. Bitcoin also ushered in a wave of bullish prices at that time, and then it also had a trend line. After this trend line was broken, you can find that it started this kind of oscillating decline until later. Bitcoin began to recover again. But we can draw a very important resistance. A very, very, very important swap is right here. Friends who have a little understanding of pressure support will definitely believe this line. It can be drawn very easily. There is support and resistance at this place. Then there is resistance at this place. You can find that this line is the dividing line between bulls and bears. We created it very clearly during the last bull market. Of swaps when it goes into a bear market. As long as we haven't ushered in this kind of large-scale rise that is halved, it will be tested no matter how it is tested. For example, if we are at this position and this place is about to be tested, and this place has been tested, it will not be until we break through. Well, our halving market is coming, but when we were in the bear market, we never broke through such a strong resistance. In fact, I think our current market is very similar to ours at that time. For example, we are in this place. We can draw a trend line. Of course, it can also mark our last bull market. When we fell below, in fact, the bull market ended. It was the same as when we were here. We can use different line segments are marked out. We mark them in yellow so that everyone can know that these two have the same status. Then we have another trend line here at the back. This one, the trend line, is the trend line we generated after the Mavericks. You can find that there are 1, 2, and 3 at this position. It has 3 contact points. Of course. I believe that after we break through, we will also be the same as before. Of course, if the market in this position is relatively similar, will there be such a plunge? Well, it depends on whether there is a black swan. After all, there was also a black swan time to drive him. It was a period of shock and decline. The market fluctuated and fell until we reduced. The rise has just started. So I also think that our future market will also be like this. Of course, the most important thing for us is this horizontal boundary. This horizontal boundary. We also use another color to give it mark it out. We use green. We are here. We mark it out in green. Right here is this green line. He has played a very important interchange role in the early stage. There is resistance here. Then there is support and so on, and then here. It has also blocked resistance 3 or 4 times in a row. Then I will also think about this place. As long as our halving cycle has not come, the halving cycle has not yet come. And its bull market has not come yet. Then the green line is probably around 2000. It is difficult to break through. It is the same as our last cycle. I only discovered such an amazing coincidence when I just reviewed the market. I think this can definitely be used for reference. The value is definitely a reference. If you want to participate in these trading opportunities, you are very welcome to click on the Bybit link below. Now, as long as a new user KYC deposits $100, you will be given $30 in cash and 30 USDT. You can withdraw it directly. It doesn't matter if the currency moves. There is no need to do any transactions. The $30 in cash will not be distributed until the end of the month. The cryptocurrency market is time sensitive. If you don't want to miss the next trading opportunity, please press the subscribe button and turn on the small bell to join the most profitable Bitcoin Chinese channel on YouTube. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.